Welcome to the deep dive. If you're listening, you're probably looking to get past the headlines, right? To really understand complex stuff.
Exactly.
Today, we're doing just that. We're diving into, well, a really significant challenge: the landscape of crime in India.
And it's incredibly complex. We've looked at compiled reports, lots of data to really get underneath the surface.
Yeah, our mission here is to pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising facts
Hmm.
about crime rates, the different types, what's driving them, and importantly, what's being proposed to tackle it all.
Because understanding the nuances in a country as massive and diverse as India, well, it means looking beyond just the news cycle. You need the data, the deeper societal links.
Definitely important stuff if you want to be genuinely well informed.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's set the stage a bit. India.
Yeah.
It's huge. Over 1.4 billion people. Just try to picture that scale.
It's staggering.
So with that kind of population and so much diversity, social, cultural, economic,
Yeah.
how does that fundamentally change the picture when we talk about crime? Is it just more crime because there are more people?
That's a great question. It's much more than just a multiplier effect.
Right.
The sheer diversity means you have inherent social, economic, cultural differences playing out everywhere. And these directly impact crime patterns.
So it's not uniform at all.
Not at all. Think about law enforcement in, say, a remote tribal area versus a huge city like Mumbai or Delhi. The challenges are completely different.
Right. Requires totally different approaches.
Exactly. These differences don't just influence crime, they actually sculpt distinct criminal landscapes across regions. It's like microclimates of crime.
Yeah.
That's a key insight, I think.
That makes a lot of sense. And, it also brings up how crime itself is changing. Our sources were clear on this. It's not just, let's say, traditional offenses anymore. Murder, robbery.
Although those are still very much present.
Of course. But we're seeing a rapid increase in modern forms, things like cybercrime, sophisticated financial fraud, drug trafficking. It adds whole new layers.
Absolutely. And that's where the official data, primarily from the National Crime Records Bureau, the NCRB, becomes so important.
Right, the NCRB.
Their reports show millions of crimes registered in India every year. It gives us a baseline, a quantitative measure.
Millions. It's hard to even grasp.
It is. And it's worth remembering, for anyone really digging into this, that NCRB data mainly reflects registered cases.
Okay, so what gets reported and recorded?
Precisely. Understanding that difference is key to seeing the full picture of crime prevalence. There's always the issue of underreporting for various reasons.
Got it. So with that huge context in mind, let's try and unpack the data a bit more, get into the specifics.
Yeah, let's do that.
We saw some really interesting, sometimes surprising stats across different crime categories. Maybe start with the ones that often grab the headlines: violent crimes.
Sounds good.
Okay, so murder, Hapya. It's still a grim reality. The NCRB report for 2023 points to over 28,000 murder cases annually.
Which is a significant number, absolutely.
It is. But what's interesting is that some sources noted the rate per capita, while high, might actually be lower than some other developing nations. So there's nuance there.
That's a crucial point you made earlier, looking beyond raw numbers. Context is everything.
Exactly. And then another major concern, especially involving crimes against women, is rape, Balatkar. The data shows around 30,000 to 32,000 registered cases each year.
A deeply concerning figure year after year.
Yeah. And alongside these severe crimes, you have robbery and theft, sometimes just called loot colloquially. Still very prevalent.
And often linked directly to socioeconomic factors.
Right. The sources connect these clearly to things like economic inequality, lack of jobs. It paints a picture of desperation driving some of this.
It really does.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Financial and white-collar crime, this is another huge area.
And growing.
We're talking bank fraud, tax evasion, money laundering, and these aren't always small-time things, right? They can blow up into massive corporate scandals.
Absolutely, with huge economic impacts.
What really stood out, though, was the modern twist. The huge jump in fraud through online banking, and especially UPI.
Ah, yes. The Unified Payments Interface. It's incredibly popular, convenient.
And apparently a big target now. That instantaneous nature makes it attractive for fraudsters.
Unfortunately, yes. Digital convenience comes with new risks.
Which leads us straight into cybercrimes. This area is just exploding.
The numbers are alarming.
A rise of over 20% in the cybercrime rate in 2023 alone. That's massive.
It is. And the types are things many people are unfortunately becoming familiar with.
Like online fraud, hacking, identity theft, phishing. It feels like it's become almost commonplace, affecting individuals, businesses.
It's pervasive,
Yeah.
a real challenge for law enforcement and for public awareness.
And one more category to touch on, drug and smuggling-related crimes.
Particularly concentrated in certain areas.
Yeah, the sources highlighted border states, Punjab, Manipur, Mizoram, mainly due to geography making them vulnerable.
Makes sense. Cross-border trafficking is a major issue there.
And it's not just drugs, is it? Smuggling involves gold, weapons, even wildlife products, a whole illicit economy.
It's a diverse range,
Yeah.
indicating pretty sophisticated networks are often involved.
So when you pull back and look at all these different types,
Mm-hmm.
from the traditional violent crimes to these surging digital and financial ones, what does it all tell us?
Well, what's fascinating, I think, is how it mirrors the changes in Indian society itself. You see the persistent challenges, like poverty driving robbery, alongside these very modern problems like cybercrime.
Right. It's like a reflection.
Exactly. It really makes you think about the sheer scale and complexity facing the country. Law enforcement, social services, everyone. These issues aren't separate. They're all tangled together.
That's a really important point. It's all interconnected.
Deeply.
Which brings us to the really crucial question, why? What are the underlying reasons driving these crime rates? What's behind the numbers?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or perhaps the billion-rupee question here.
Yeah. So, first up, economic inequality. Seems pretty clear from the sources. Poverty, unemployment. They can push people towards illegal acts.
It's often framed as desperation, but it's also about the gap, isn't it? The gap between aspirations maybe fueled by media and the actual opportunities available that can breed resentment, hopelessness.
Pushing some towards crime as the only perceived option.
Yeah.
Then there's lack of education.
Another recurring theme.
Lower education levels often mean less awareness, fewer opportunities. It sort of narrows life choices and maybe understanding of consequences.
Creating a cycle that's incredibly difficult to break out of.
Yeah.
Education empowers, opens doors. Lack of it can do the opposite.
And then there's the system itself. Weak law enforcement comes up a lot.
Slow investigations, low conviction rates.
If criminals feel they won't get caught or won't face consequences quickly, well, there's less deterrence.
Exactly. Impunity is a powerful enabler of crime.
And tied directly to that is corruption. Specifically, police and administrative corruption.
A really corrosive issue. It means criminals might evade justice not because the system failed, but because it was, manipulated.
Undermining the whole process. The sources suggest this isn't just isolated incidents, but can be quite systemic in places, really eroding public trust.
Absolutely. Trust is fundamental for effective policing.
Finally, the sources point to deep-seated social issues as triggers. Things like caste-based discrimination,
Still a painful reality.
gender inequality, which connects to crimes against women, and domestic violence. These aren't just social problems, they directly manifest as crime.
They create environments where certain crimes are more likely, or where victims feel unable to seek help. They perpetuate cycles of violence and injustice.
So when you put all these factors together, economic pressure, lack of education, systemic weaknesses, corruption, deep social divisions.
It really raises that crucial point, doesn't it? How interconnected everything is.
Yeah.
Crime in India isn't just a legal problem you solve with more police or tougher laws alone. It's deeply tangled up with these social and economic realities.
Meaning the solutions have to be just as complex and multifaceted.
Precisely. You can't really tackle one without addressing the others.
Okay, so given that complexity, given these really formidable challenges, let's shift focus. What's being done? What does a path forward look like according to the sources?
Right, moving towards solutions.
One major area discussed is, unsurprisingly, stronger law enforcement.
But not just more boots on the ground.
No, exactly. It's about better police training, but also really integrating modern technology.
Things like better forensics, using data analytics, maybe even predictive policing tools, though those raise their own questions, making enforcement smarter, more effective.
And alongside that, judicial reforms. This seemed critical.
Especially the push for fast-track courts.
Right, to ensure speedy trials. Because, as we said, justice delayed is often justice denied. It kills the deterrent effect if cases drag on for years.
Absolutely. Efficiency in the justice system is key.
Then, tackling the root causes, education and employment initiatives.
Crucial. Especially programs aimed at creating jobs for young people, offering viable alternatives.
And broader awareness campaigns, too, trying to shift attitudes and understanding around issues like gender equality or the rule of law.
Building a more informed and engaged citizenry.
In the digital world, improving cybersecurity is obviously a big focus now.
Has to be.
Strengthening digital literacy for everyone so people are less vulnerable to online scams. And building up specialized cyber police cells.
Giving law enforcement the tools and skills to combat these complex digital crimes.
And finally, something called community policing came up.
Yeah, this is about involving local communities directly in crime prevention.
How does that work, basically?
Building trust between citizens and police, encouraging people to share information, participate in neighborhood watch programs, fostering a sense of shared responsibility for safety.
Okay, so it's a really broad range of approaches.
It has to be.
Yeah.
If you connect all this to the bigger picture, crime in India is, yes, a very serious challenge, deeply rooted.
Noted.
But the sources seem hopeful, suggesting it can be significantly controlled. It needs that right mix, that blend of policy changes, technology adoption, and really importantly, sustained public cooperation.
So it's not just up to the government or the police.
Not at all. There's an emphasis on civic duty, on citizens respecting the law and standing against crime. The idea that a safe, secure India is a collective effort.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from the sheer scale and the stats.
Which can be sobering.
Definitely. To the complex web of causes, economic, social, systemic, and now these multi-pronged solutions being tried or proposed. Hopefully, this gives you, our listener, a much richer framework for understanding this huge issue.
Yeah, being well-informed on something this complex is, well, it's the first step towards meaningful engagement, isn't it?
Absolutely. Towards understanding the world around you and maybe even helping shape its future.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Consider how this interplay, this dance between rapidly changing technology and these persistent, deep-seated social issues, is constantly reshaping crime.
Not just in India, but everywhere.
Exactly, globally. And reflecting on that, maybe ask yourself, what role can we, as informed citizens, actually play in trying to foster that shift toward a society that's genuinely more secure and more just for everyone?